Hi there, my sweet, sweet CAMILA fans. There's a lot of rumors going around saying that both of them are actually homosexual and that their managers are forcing them to be in this PR relationship to help their brands and help them make more money.
People have this idea that you were like this like stud, this guy that like anybody you wanted you could have. Meanwhile, your gaze was fixed very squarely on this woman who was also looking at you.
I know. Um, it's also being 18 years old, you know? Like I think it takes a lot of courage to tell the woman that you love her. And I mean, I had 5 years of fear of getting rejected by her
Yeah.
that just stopped me from doing it every time. Or just confidence. I think, you know, it just took a lot. It took a long time of preparing. I mean, I had a 5 year warm up to finally be able to tell her how I felt. And it was so funny in the documentary, like the day after. I just thought it was such a funny story because we really were in the car. And I think people think sometimes maybe those types of stories get made up to like be fun or funny, but that was a true thing. We were really in the car, and I was like, you like just expecting her to know that, like, you know, I mean, the funny thing is I was 16 years old writing my second album, or 17, and I had like heard through the grapevine that she had feelings for some guy. And like I'm talking like feelings, like they're not a thing, they don't hang out, there's
Right.
nothing going on. Then I go and write a song that's like, darling, I'm not trying to ruin your happiness, but don't you know that I'm the only one for you? It's like people are listening to these songs where I'm being so dramatic, but it's based off of like something I heard that might not even be true. But
Right.
I mean, that's a dramatic songwriter inside of me. But
I'm gonna,
yeah, I mean, it's
I'm gonna
funny.
The fact that he was into her before they were even really close, that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know what it is that we have as men from hundreds of years of conditioning to have to be so strong and like not
emotion.
feel
Hmm.
emotionally, like. But the truth about it is that it's just not strong. The strongest way I think a man can live is to be open and to be vulnerable, because those feelings of like hurt and sadness and upset, if you don't process those and let them flow, then you're just going to hold them and get stressed and angry and tight. And I experienced that big time, and I still experience that. I think as a guy, I mean, as a guy who preaches that he's vulnerable and will kind of explain how he feels, like that cry in Sao Paulo was probably one of two cries I've had since. It's
Right.
like it's not easy
Mhm.
to just let go.
You know, so the interesting thing I'm seeing from Sean, and I really don't know much about his personality at all, but this is, I think, a really good interview. He is somebody that is in touch with his emotions, but not only that, he has learned to be okay with expressing his vulnerabilities. That is the strongest level of confidence. To the people that are assuming that he is gay, I don't know why. And I'm sure that there's some proof videos out there that are taking little snippets of little tiny things that he's done and trying to prove it. Who knows? There's proofs out there for everybody like that. But one thing that I really want to be clear about is being gay has nothing to do with your personality or how you act. There could be a man that does not follow the traditional gender stereotype of what a man is. That doesn't mean that he's not straight. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. They don't go together. Acting this way and being gay, acting this way and being straight. So to the people out there that are assuming that Sean is gay because of a certain way that he acts, you're being bigoted. You are being prejudiced. You are judging wrongly. That's not how these things work.
The next thing I know, she's doing a dance scene with this guy, and he takes his shirt off, and he's super jacked, like shredded, like, and he's not.
Baby,
He's
but
like,
not jacked like you.
not jacked like you, baby.
When Sean mentioned CAMILA was dancing with a guy with his shirt off and he was ripped, jacked, CAMILA made sure to mention not as jacked as you. And I think that is a pretty clear sign that there is a relationship there, because she was trying to stop Shawn from feeling any sort of jealousy. If she didn't feel as though Shawn would be jealous, she wouldn't mention something like that. Unless she was so smart in doing all these bluffs to try to uphold their straight relationship, that she knew that people would think that if she said this, it would imply this. The problem with being a teenager and being a fan of celebrities, and I was a victim of it myself when I was a kid, is we think there's so much more going on behind the scenes, so much more planning involved. These people are literally just people. CAMILA was a YouTuber. She was posting her videos on YouTube a few years ago. Everybody are just people. There's not some huge conspiracy going on. They're not planning things. They're not going, oh, let's be seen in public showing PDA to prove certain things. This doesn't happen as often as you think.
We'll send you back to work. Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
How do I get off?
It's interesting that they didn't say bye to each other at the end of the live stream. Nothing huge. I mean, it's not like some big thing, but something I pointed out. She was kind of giving him a kiss at the end, and it didn't seem he had any reaction. These are such small things. This is not anything that I can make any judgment on. I'm just pointing small, little tiny things out. The biggest thing that somebody shouldn't do is take the smallest little thing and then make a very, very definite judgment on it.
What's that?
Maybe just let us walk down.
Just let you to the street? All right, listen, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. I just want to know Camille, what'd you get him?
You guys fighting for immigrants.
All right, listen, I don't want to bother you guys. You guys are amazing.
Guys, thank you.
Have a great afternoon. Take care.
Take care.
CAMILA seems a lot more passionate about it than Shawn is. Shawn seems kind of just like whatever when they're kissing. This doesn't say anything. They're in public. They know that cameras are watching them. It could be making him feel uncomfortable. And it's obvious that he does not like the paparazzi because in that video where it was his birthday and TMZ was interviewing him on the street, he said, you know, my birthday gift I wish is that, you know, you could leave us alone, which shows that he definitely feels uncomfortable with cameras, paparazzi on him. Have I seen any hint whatsoever that Shawn is gay or that CAMILA is gay? No. But at the same time, have I seen anything that is super passionate about them being together or super intimate where like you could tell they're just so into each other? No, I haven't. But at the same time, every personality is different. All relationships are different. There's some relationships that I've seen where they absolutely show zero intimacy PDA, right? And nobody questions their relationship. So why are we questioning Shamila? Makes no sense to do so. It's only right to take and respectful to take two people's relationship at their word, which is really important to do. And again, respectful to the people that are in the relationship. It is an exciting conspiracy theory to follow and try to go on the internet and find all of these hints to prove that this is happening, just like is claimed in the Larry Stylinson conspiracy theory.
She was in Fifth Harmony and we were both opening. Yeah, my very first tour ever. And she was the act after me. I was the first in the lineup with the shortest set, and then they went on.
The act after me.
He was so super like hyper focused on what he was doing. I never saw him that whole tour. He was like constantly going in and out of his bus, like playing guitar, writing songs with Jeff. You know, I thought he was cute, but I was like, he's doing other stuff, so whatever. And then, like, it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago. We were backstage at this Taylor Swift show. I went to his dressing room to say hi. And we like started writing this song. And then after that, we like spent a lot of time with each other because we had this song together, and we like did a whole Jingle Ball tour together. And that's really when the fucking saga started. I really liked him. I guess he liked me, but I don't really know.
For the past like 4 years, just being friends and not being able to see each other very often, to finally being able to be together. She was always there to look out for me as a human being. She's got my back, and I think that's what your partner's for. We were in New York, and my song comes on the radio or something, and just the fact comes up that it's about her. And I'm like, yeah, it's about her. Yeah, it's about you. And I'm like, everything is about you. It's always, they've always been about you. She goes, what do you mean? I'm like they're all about you. Like every song I've ever wrote. And I'm like rhyming off the songs. I'm like, treat you better. Like all these songs. And she's like, oh my God. She's literally had no idea. This whole time I thought she like knew. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to write songs that really do it justice, that can really capture the things and the feelings with her. But I think it's like when you see a moon or stars and you try and take a photo of it with your iPhone, and then you just can't. It just doesn't look good. And you're like, it's not supposed to be captured, you know? It's just supposed to be for us.
Do you want to do it again for fun?
Yeah.
But do stuff like that. Like
Hey,
just
hey.
play around just to get loose. I love it when you call me señorita. I wish I could pretend I didn't need you, but
All right, so I looked at a lot of footage from Camila. I looked at a lot of footage from Camila and Shawn, and there's not honestly like a lot of interaction. My reasoning, I'm gonna say right now, absolutely, I do not believe there is some gay conspiracy theory where they, you know, the powers that be want them to have a public romance to help album sales and stuff like that and their popularity. I don't think that. Based on what I've seen, how they interact with each other, then what's the issue, right? I believe Shawn Mendes, not in his music, but just interacting with people, he is a humble person. He doesn't really express himself a lot. Now, on the other hand, Camila, she does express herself a lot. She is more of an introverted feeler, if you know what that means. She is more likely to want to let herself be known. Where Shawn, on the other hand, he's the type of person where he doesn't really feel the need to like let his freak flag fly wherever he is in every interaction, and probably most likely when the cameras are rolling. Now, he probably saves a lot of that for his music, for his recording, for his songwriting, for his performing. Based on the interactions I've seen between Camila and Shawn, they definitely look like they're in a relationship with each other. Just the way that they talk about their story of how they met. And yeah, you could come back to me and say, yeah, they were coached about it. I could tell when two people are truly in a relationship, when two people really care for each other, and when two people's story really happened, as opposed to two people that are talking about some rehearsed thing. That's just not what this is. They are in a real relationship. They are really attracted to each other. And that's all you need to know. All of these people that are interested in conspiracy theories and everything, especially ones around people being gay or straight or whatever, it is disrespectful to assume somebody is not the sexuality that they are telling the world. And yeah, you could come back and go, yes, but they're forced to do so. Listen, these are huge celebrities. They are not forced to do anything. They could break out of contracts if they want. They are not going to lose fame or lose huge amounts of money from breaking out of contracts that are toxic, that are forcing them to act like they're in some relationship that isn't really happening. They have the power to break out of things like that. If it was happening, if they signed into it early on. I know it's exciting to fall for these conspiracy theories, and genuinely, I really am taking no bias in looking at this. But again, I think the reality of it is that Shawn is just naturally more of a shy person. He doesn't let it all out. If this video gets 10,000 likes, I will do a part 3.